Dr. Shannon with another episode of Need to Know in 5. Today we are doing a back to school edition with Hativity. So I know right now some kids are going back to school, some are staying home. We got a mix of a lot of different things going on with our viewers right now. So I figured I'd give us some different options to show how Hativity can make back to school fun and exciting no matter where you are and how your kids are going back to school. So the first hat that we have is our sun hat. And so if you're living in some of those places where it's a little bit warmer, maybe your kids are working from home, they still need to get outside and play, which is super important to get that fresh air, or maybe they're going back to school where they're having classes outside. And so again, even more important to make sure that your child still has that sun protection for them. Even though the temperatures might be getting a little bit cooler, they're still going to be prone to those sun's rays. So it's important to keep them protected at all times. So for the back to school, for those of us that are in the warmer areas, we have our Hativity sun hat here. And as you can see, we have our fall collection, which is also a great reminder of all the cool things that are coming with the fall season and returning back to school. And so I'll give you a little bit of a look here on some of those. So we have our skull, super popular. And what's great about this one too, it has it's vegan leather, so it has a really nice smooth finish to it. So if you have any children that really like to rub those soft or smooth items, this is a great patch for them from a sensory perspective. We have our scarecrow, our pumpkin, and then of course our cute little ghost. So this is our sun hat that can be used. And then we have our winter hat. So those of you that are going back to school where it's going to be getting a little bit colder sooner, we have our winter hat now for you, which is an awesome way to stay warm, but it's also very lightweight and breathable. So if you are, again, going back to school and maybe you guys are having some of your classes outside, this is going to give you that warmth that you need, but not feeling too bulky or overweight while you're sitting outside participating in classes. And so on here you can see we have a variety of our different patches in honor of going back to school. So we have our school bus. Not sure how those are going to be utilized these days, but there they are. And our flag, we have our happy emoji, our United States patches, we have our guinea pig, school pet, class pet. Hopefully we'll get back to having those one day again for our children. And to keep everybody happy, our rainbow. Now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how Hativity can be used as an educational and communication model, whether you're doing your education at home or in school. So let's start off with this one. So these patches are a great way to be used as kind of visual reminders and to help with prompting and facilitating communication. The leaves is a great way to talk about the changes that happen with this season, especially this one has some great texture and feel to it. So you can talk about what happens with the trees and the differences in the colors and why that happens in different parts of the country and how the leaves change their color and why. The owls, great thing that you can do with these, you can facilitate talking about how the owl sounds, what noises do owls make. That's awesome for speech and language pathologists. They love to do those kinds of things with the animal patches. You can also facilitate motor learning with the image of the owl, and you can ask your students or your child, how does an owl move? Can you show me how an owl would fly through the air? So that's a great way to facilitate those gross motor and coordination skills. You can use the skull as a way to talk about the human body and about our bones and how the bones are so important of being the structure of our body and how it supports everything. So as you can see, these are just some examples of how you can use these patches for education. Let me give you some other examples here on our winter hat. Obviously with the US flag, it's a great way to talk about the history of the United States and also about what's to come in the United States with all of the things that are going on nowadays. These are a great way to educate our children on everything that has been in the past and also the benefits of all the wonderful things that are coming in their future. We have the school bus. We can talk about transportation, different modes of transportation, how different modes of transportation are different, like if you're coming to and from school, or how your parents use maybe a car or truck, how when you travel maybe you're using an airplane. So that's a great way to talk about all these different modes of transportation and when they're used. And then on our household pets collection here with the guinea pig, that's also another way that you can facilitate different things with discussion, learning about different things with animals and how we take care of animals and the importance of those relationships for our children. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time on another episode of Need to Know in 5.